All right. Ready?
Yep.
Let's do it, Fitz. What we got?
We got an in-house question. Why are you anti-pitch counts?
Ooh. Okay. So research behind this. I'll have to look at the study. I think it's McWilliams. Really good study that shows pitch counts versus total throws in a game. So you have just according to the research here. Okay, I'll expand on this in a minute. But if we think about it like this, right? We have pitch counts, which are the pitches you throw to a hitter that we actually track as part of the game, right? We have pitches in between innings we don't count. Then we have pitches before the game, right? So this study looked at all of those pitches. So again, before game pitches, in between innings pitches, and then what we call pitch counts, are pitches to hitters in game, right? And they said, okay, how much of this are pitch counts, the in-game pitches? How much does that make up? What they found was that 57% of all pitches thrown in a day on game day were actually what we call pitch counts. So this means that we're only looking at about half of a single game day's pitches. Okay, 57%. Now, that study didn't include long toss. That study didn't include plyo care throws. That study didn't include if you were playing third base and they brought you into the game, or playing the outfield and brought you into the game. Some of these travel ball tournaments these days, they've run 4 games in a day, which is insane, right? And we have the amount of throws accumulated throughout the day, and then we have pitch counts. Well, we're determining if this guy's ready to pitch or not by the number of pitches that he threw, which is substantially less. And if we add up all of that, right, substantially less than 50%. So workload management is what we do, fatigue management, right? And so what we do is we look at the value of every throw. So we look at the stress accumulated by every throw. We look at the total volume throughout the day. We basically put together a value, right? A value on how much you did in terms of volume and intensity throughout the day. So that's where the power of workload management, utilizing technology, the Modus sleeve in this case, utilizing that tool to allow us to get where we need to be to measuring that. We see some guys, I'll be honest with you, we see some guys in travel tournaments that are running up 89 one-day workloads, which, in context here, for those who don't know what an 89 one-day workload is, right? Our biggest day planned in facility for guys are typically 35s or 40s. And those are big days. That's a couple innings worth of work. We work with University of Michigan, we work with Central Florida Community College, working with University of Tampa, working with a couple others, and we watch their pitchers throw. And even on game days for them, most of them, I would say from just eyeballing it, on average, a 50 or 60 one-day workload is a really good start. So you're talking about higher level guys, even our MLB guys we track in season, right? Higher level guys throwing 6 innings, 7 innings, even full games sometimes, not peaking nearly as high as an amateur, a 14, 15, 16-year-old kid on a Sunday in travel ball. That's, to me, that's mind-blowing. So, pitch counts have done this huge disservice. They were good when they first came out. It was an attempt, right? But we've come so far. We're so far past that mark now. We're so far beyond this concept of looking at this small portion of pitches and trying to determine if a pitcher's ready to come back in 4 days or not. We can do so much more now with technology and with our modeling to be able to look at our dynamic throwing model to determine where guys are at. This is where I think baseball has to make a change. We have to move away from innings limits, pitch counts that are that have dictated what kids can and can't do. Because to be honest with you, they're doing a huge disservice to kids, potentially putting kids in harm's way. Even our college guys, you look at a guy who throws 100 pitches on a weekend, and it's well, in some cases, a coach goes, oh, well, he only threw 70 pitches, or only threw 80 pitches, versus a guy that throws 100. And you go, well, yeah, but he wasn't built up to handle that 70 pitches, period. He was a reliever. You dumped him into a start. You spiked his workload. Now that kid's at a much higher risk of injury because you spiked his workload. So, those are the things we have to pay more attention to, not pitch counts. I'm going to get on a tangent about this, but not pitch counts, right? We have to get away from this idea, Pitch Smart and these other groups out there that have put this they mean well. They've done a good job, but we have to move past it. And so, that's, the research has been out for a while. The research has been out for a while. So that's why we don't look at pitch counts. That's why we don't like pitch counts. That's why I have a personal bit of a vendetta against pitch counts. I want to get past them and move on to what we see has been working for our guys in house. So.
Yeah, I actually saw this in the workload module for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's in Connect. I mean, and we wrote about this pretty heavily. We're going to be updating Connect as well with some videos and things through the workload module. So the workload module in Connect, you can find out, the technology that we use with Modus. I think our throwing model is described in there very well. We talk about what fatigue actually is in there. I definitely go front to back in the workload management module. I know we've had a ton of people, sign up for it. It's free online. So, there's no barrier of entry there just to learn more about it. Highly recommend that. You can buy a Modus sleeve through our site, and our guys that are doing remote work with us, whether they be in Japan, whether they be in California, New York, wherever they are, we're really excited to see the overwhelming support and excitement around tracking your throwing and getting away from some of these formerly known techniques such as pitch counts. So cool.
Good stuff.